Peace, everyone. Peace, peace. Peace, soul family. How is everyone tonight? How is everyone doing? Oh my goodness. Peace, Omnius Oracle. Peace, Sean Adiel. Peace, Nice, So Natural. Peace, Lucy. Peace, Soul Guided. Peace, Will Tai. Peace, Indigo, Elo. Peace, Just King. Yes, happy full moon, you guys. I promise you, right before I came on, I was very cold. And I was like, should I sit in front of the fireplace and go live? And I heard no, go in the dining room. So I said, okay, I'll go in the dining room. And I promise you, right now, like 3 minutes ago, I almost caught my whole dining room on fire. I'm going to show you real quick. I had my notes, and this one particular page caught on fire. You guys see that? So the energy, clearly I was not supposed to be in front of the fireplace because, it wouldn't be a good thing tonight. But this full moon energy is very powerful. We're going to talk about a few things today, actually. That, not so much that, but more about knowing thyself. Peace, Will Tai. Peace, Janet. Peace, West Indies DNA. Peace and blessings to you. Peace, Dream Rays. Peace, Jamesia. Peace, Ty Wingard. Peace, Olivia Bree. Peace, Tawana. Peace, November Mage. Peace, Aquarian Spirit. We're going to talk about the Aquarian energy. Please make sure that you are liking the video. Make sure that you share this video so that this message, this truth can get shared to others. Peace, Sensei Suave. Peace, Danielle Wilson. Emma Lawson. Peace, Aquarian Spirit again. Did I see you earlier? I think I just said your name. Peace, Christelle. Chris Shayla. Peace, Dreamer Gabby. Hey. Peace, Sharon. Quadrilin. Did I say it right? Quadrilin? Peace, Laimo's mom, or Laimo's mom. Peace, Linda. Hi. Peace, Start Christ. Peace, Ali D Exodus. D Exodus, like the Exodus, I think. Cool. Peace, Eden Song. Peace, Q Mac. Peace, Max 11 Peace and love to you. Peace, Sky Beauty. Peace, Jag B. Peace, Danny. Thank you for being here. Peace, Stephanie B. In the place to be. Peace, Asset Goddess. Peace, Sister. Peace, Demetria. Peace, Cam. Peace, Crystal Jones. Peace, Destiny. Peace, Quasi Spirit. Peace, May World. Welcome to all the new, if you're new on this live for the first time, welcome to you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Peace, peace. Peace, Kailu, LJ Smile, Ma Justice Murphy. Peace, John Houston. It's like I hold attendance every session. I just like to send peace energy out. It's important. Spirit is from inside out, so I like to send it out. So I say peace to as many people as I can. That's just what I do. Oh my gosh. Peace, Kiara Payne. Peace, Jugglistic Laboratory. Peace, Redbird. Peace, Darla. Peace, Lakia. Peace, Lady Owl. Nia Kaylin. Essence of Angela. Sherry D. Peace, Malachi. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Peace and love to everyone. Okay, so Again, like the video, everyone. Share the video. We're going to go into a bit of a lesson today. Welcome to everyone that's here. Hey, Antoinette, Naj, peace, Judith, peace, CMT Life. I'm surprised that I'm here. I have been physically exhausted since my last live. I may touch into that, but physically exhausted. Today I was like literally in the bed. I got up because I had a few consultations with my students, and I was in the bed, talking to them, and then getting up, receiving information, writing notes down, laying back down. And about an hour ago, I was like, please, I need strength to get through this. So I feel like I feel your energy. Peace, Carlene. I feel your love. Thank you so much for you noble gases for giving me some enlightenment, some energy so that I can teach tonight. I appreciate you all. Okay. Peace, MG the future. Peace, Lucy. Peace, Bataya. Okay. So let's begin. So this is a message that I actually received from Spirit 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago, I was in Jersey visiting my family, and I don't know, my sleep pattern is really off. So I don't, at one point I got up and I just started writing, just started receiving information. I was like, oh, okay, let me write that. Lay back down, then more came, and then more and more. And I was like, oh, this is a whole thing. So I felt so energized by the information that I was receiving. And I was like, should I go live tonight? And I was told, no, wait. And I didn't understand why I had to wait. But whenever I'm told to wait, I wait. And so then this rising, I received some more information. I said, okay, I get it now why I had to wait. And I had to, go live today. One of the reasons is because it's a full moon. Now, I think last month I kind of stopped keeping track of the full moons. And this month, I didn't even know when the full moon would be at all. So the fact that it's today, it's amazing. It is a full moon in Cancer, which we're going to touch on a little bit. And it's called a cold full moon, which we'll also touch a little bit onto that. So here is the message that I have for you all. You have a Jersey accent? Really? Yeah, I was in Jersey for years. I have, I guess, a blend between New York and Jersey. Okay, so peace, Anita. Peace, Valerie. So here's what I have to say to you guys. Now, let me say this. I love you, my soul family. You know that, I always say, like, I'm the last person to judge. I'm not a judgmental person at all because I got my stuff. I've been through things. But there is a strong, there has been pretty much this year, this energy of like, get your shit together, right? But there's another energy that's testing, that's judging right now, okay? And so we're going to talk about that, okay? Now, this is the thing. Spirit is not going to test you or judge you on information that you don't have. So it's always on information that was told to you or presented to you, and you make the decision whether or not to follow through with it, okay? So let's begin. When Spirit reveals something, when Spirit reveals anything to you and it resonates with you, okay? Not just random information, something that you're like, that's me. Oh, I need to do that, or I need to work on that, okay? When it resonates with you, a test will come soon after. It has to. It absolutely has to. I tell people whenever they find out what their mission is, what path they should be walking on, what is their spiritual work, they're going to be tested with something right after. I say to all healers, you're a healer, okay? Someone's going to get sick around you, okay? Because you have to practice, okay? So there's this idea that we're going to, get these DNA activations and, suddenly just, go out and start, doing whatever that powerful work is. No, you have to practice it. Practice makes perfect. And you practice it by getting tests. And many times these tests, these practices, many times we fail them, okay? But when you realize what they are, you start passing them. And when you start passing them, they become stronger and harder, okay? And you'll get them like back to back. So most of you all were tested, okay? Most of you all got tested. Most of you all that I'm speaking to. Again, I'm speaking to my soul family. I'm speaking to the soul family, the collective of spiritual humans, enlightened beings, light workers. That's what I'm talking about when I say soul family. You know who you are. Most of you got tested December 21st to the 25th, okay? And most of you did not pass the test, all right? So every winter solstice is basically leveling up, okay? That's just what the energy is for the winter solstice. Winter solstice, December 21st. This particular one, well, we know what that was, right? We knew we had the great conjunction energy, right? So there was an especial leveling up. There's this energy of like, how do I describe it? There's this energy of like, let me see what they're gonna do. You know, like this kind of looking at you sort of energy that was happening between the 21st and the 25th. So you all got this great information, whether you got it from me, whether you attended the Great Conjunction class, whether you were looking on Instagram or wherever, there was information all around, okay? 21st through the 25th was leveling up. There was this powerful energy that was coming to this planet, that came onto this planet, okay? I did a video telling you guys how to prepare for that, certain things to do when you are feeling these ascension symptoms. Thank you so much for the donation, Redbird 101. Okay, so a lot of you were feeling this. A lot of you were uncomfortable in your bodies. A lot of you couldn't sleep, anxiousness, all the things that I talked about in the video, a lot of you were feeling. And in the video, I told you, well, these are the things to do to help get through it. We don't want to stop it. We don't want to take synthesized synthetic medicine to, you know, when we can't sleep, something fake to knock us out. We have to experience it, okay? So a lot of you are feeling that stuff, all kinds of things happening in your body, all kinds of dreams, all kinds of astral traveling. You're seeing things, you're hearing, like the most was happening to a lot of you, okay? And it was supposed to. You were leveling up, okay? The last video I did, the message was know thyself, all right? You got all this information, right? A lot of you were real hyped up, like, yeah, I'm a god, I'm a goddess, I'm this person, I'm that entity, I feel this, I feel that connection, and it was all good, right? Know thyself, know who you are, right? And then the test came. And then a lot of you did not walk into that, okay? Now, we talked about this earlier this year. We talked about the faking and the front end. And we talked about there are some genuine people out here who are just here to deceive, you know? We talked about that, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about you, okay? Enlightened beings, you light workers, okay? You who felt this energy of resonance with what was happening on this planet, okay? You felt this powerful energy. You felt these things happening in your body, right? And the message was, okay, know thyself, know who you are and fully walk in it. And then, like, you fell out the wagon. This is not a game. I say this all the time. Spiritual work is not for the faint of heart. It is challenging, okay? A lot of you had this past week, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of you saying, I'm God, and then you have pictures with ho, 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 and reindeers in the background, okay? Which one is it? A lot of you who are saying, I'm this person, and then you get around your family and friends, and then you're not that person. A lot of you who when you speak, you're saying, ashe, 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 and when you're around your family, they don't, what is the word ashe, or your friends? They don't know that part of you, because it's hidden, okay? pick, what are you going to do? Because when you truly know who you are, you truly walk in that. It's not the hidden part of you. A lot of you have multiple social media pages, okay? One who is this is who I am to my friends and family and everyone else, and this is a spiritual person. And I've seen pages, and they are distinctly different. And it's almost hypocritical, okay? Now, I have two social media pages. One that I've had for years. That one has my children on it. That one is private. That literally is for my friends and family. And then I have this one, only because I don't want my children being on blast. But on that one, I'm still talking about ancestors. I'm still talking about, I still have on there that I'm an alchemist, that I'm a healer, okay? You know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, okay? You know who I'm talking to. So we're going to get into that today, because maybe it was that when I said know thyself, you really didn't know what that was or how to do it. All right. And it's my responsibility as a teacher to teach you how to know thyself. What does that really mean? How do you really walk in that? Okay. All right. So let's talk. Know thyself. To know thyself, a lot of people think it is something cool, you know. I posted something on my Instagram page. I don't know how this came to me, but I remembered in The Matrix where the Oracle, Neo went to see the Oracle, right? And she said, like, he's asking her, he's trying to get from her, like, am I the chosen one? And she's like, are you? And he's kind of like, I'm paraphrasing, like, well, you tell me. And then she points to the sign above the door, and it says, know thyself. And so she does this thing with him, and she says, you know, you're not it. And I was just like, wow. Because here's what a lot of you do, okay? Me included. This is me too in my early part of my journey, okay? You know that you're different. You know that you're special. You know this within you, okay? You've been told this in your dreams and meditations, maybe by other people that have come up to you and said things. But you ask other people, am I really special? Okay? I've had people have asked me, Melanie, am I a chosen one? You tell me. You have to tell me. You have to know. I can't know for you. Until you know for yourself, that's where your true power lies. And I talked about that in the last video. So this work is no joke. This work is not easy. Neo had to go through it's a whole movie, a whole entire process. And it wasn't until Matrix 2 that he finally was like, wait a minute, I know who I really know who I am. Okay. So, and we won't get into all of that right now, but there are hard realizations. There are going to be some hard realizations in getting to know yourself, know thyself. It is not an easy process. It's not an easy process. It's not as simple as, yes, I know I'm a spiritual being. I am whoever, you know, I'm Shango and that's who I am. It's not as easy as that, okay? There's a process. Because the minute that you call yourself an energy, you better stand up to that, all right? And you're going to be shown things and put through situations that are going to force that to be in front of you to say, there's no doubt in my mind that this is who I am. Okay, so there are 5 components to knowing thyself. 5 components. I want you to write this down. 5 components. 5 components to knowing thyself. Hold on one second. Get my laptop charger before my laptop dies. Oh, gosh. Yes, it was a deep-sea redbird. Yes, simply KD. A lot of tears will be shed. A lot of tears will be shed. That was a lot of that was happening during the middle part of this year. So like June, July, a lot of that energy was happening. And it's still it's happening again with this full moon, and we'll get into that. Okay, I don't want my laptop to die while I'm talking to you all. So 5 components that you need to get through, to go through, to fully have this realization of who you are. The 5 components, okay? The first one is mental. You will have the mental test. Okay, you'll be tested on your mental. Okay? The second one is emotional. Okay? You'll be tested emotionally. Okay? The third one is psychological. You will be tested psychologically. The fourth one is physical. Thank you, sweetheart. You'll be tested physically on your physical self. The fifth one is spiritual. You will be tested spiritual self. Okay? So we have mental, emotional, psychological, physical, and spiritual. All right? Write those down. And I'm going to break each one of those down. Thank you, CMT Life. Peace, Alchemist Joy Johnson. Divine timing is perfect timing, right? Okay, everyone has those 5. So let's get into the first one of Know Thyself. The first component of Know Thyself, mental. When we talk about mental, we are talking about empowerment. We are talking about empowerment. Okay? There's a difference between mental and psychological, right? So mental is the empowerment. I want you to write this down. This is what I received. By you being empowered in who you are, you make room for others. By you being empowered in who you are, you make room for others. I'll say it again. By you being empowered in who you are, you make room for others. I can see the chat slowing down. That must mean you guys are writing. Awesome. Remember to do your note taking in blue pen or purple pen. Okay, so let's talk about that. What does that mean? You came here as a unique single energy, okay? And when you are not yourself, when you are bending to others or bending to society or bending to whatever, bending to your fears, you're not walking in who you are, okay? This then destabilizes those who are around you. And they cannot fully walk in who they are or who they are meant to be. This includes your spouse. This includes your children. This includes your friends and family. Okay? Let me give you an example. This week, I went to see my family in New Jersey. Now, my parents are older. My parents are in their 70s. And my we have a small family. My brother has 3 boys. I have 3 girls. His wife transitioned 5 years ago. My daughter's father transitioned last year, which means that both of us are without spouse, okay? And without the other parent, okay? And it's just my 2 parents. Now I have another brother and another sister. They live in the South, okay? But it's the 2 of us who come from the 2 parents. Both we have the same mother and father. So it is important for us, especially a few years ago, my mother almost transitioned. She made it out alive because we needed her. But it's important that for my brother and I, that our children have a relationship with their grandparents, because we did not have a relationship with ours. My grandmother transitioned the day before I went to see her. When I was 3 years old. I have another grandparent that transitioned 24 years before I met him. Another one transitioned when I was 6. Another one transitioned when I was 9. So I don't really know my grandparents. My brother was 3 years younger than me. He doesn't know anyone, okay? So it's important that our children have a relationship with them. It is not often that we get together. So whenever we do, we make sure we take the time. Now, then we were supposed to go on a family vacation in February. That got canceled. So the next time I was going to see my parents were in June. I don't play around with things. I know that people are leaving this realm, okay? I wanted to make sure that I saw my parents before they left, before they transitioned. So the next time they were going to be in New Jersey, they live in Florida, was in last week. My mother was coming up for Christmas vacation. No, I was like, I'm just not with that. Like the holidays, I don't celebrate the holidays. I just do other stuff. Okay. Also, I knew that the 21st through the 25th was major for me. I felt the energy coming. I was literally going into a meditative place because I had to get a lot of information for what's to come. Okay. So I really didn't want to go, but I did anyway, because this is something that our family has decided to do. This is something that's important, especially for my daughters at this time. So didn't want to go, and was like, maybe I should just say, and Spirit said, you need to go, right? Didn't really know why I had to go, but we went up there. It was great. We celebrated my daughter. She's been homeschooling since 2016. She graduated in October. We celebrated her graduation. It was really good. Christmas Day, I was up, I think, all night pretty much that night before. I didn't get out of the bed until 3:30. Again, I don't do the gifts thing. That's just me and my daughters. We just don't do that. Got out the bed like 3:30. My mother said I cooked dinner. It's like, okay, great. So we went downstairs. We had a nice dinner. Afterwards, I went to wash the dishes, because that's what I do. Like I clean. I like to clean. I clean. I don't want to do the cooking. I'll clean. So I was cleaning, and my father says, Melanie, we have some gifts we like to give. So here's the thing. I say, fine. Okay, Daddy, great. He wants to give the gifts to the children. That's what they do, I'm judging for that. I don't have any energy towards it. I'm not like, I don't celebrate Christmas. It's just like, that's love. So we went into the living room. My brother didn't come into the living room with us. He went into the inside front porch. And I was wondering, like, why is he in there? So my parents gave gifts to all the children, myself included. And then they called my brother, like, come in here and get your gift. So he came in there, and I was just like, what? I wonder if he's okay. Like, I just felt like he just fell off. So everyone got their gifts. The kids were playing with their stuff. I went back to the kitchen to wash dishes. I'm in the kitchen, and my brother comes into the doorway, and he says, Melanie, I want to thank you. And I said, for what? He said, thank you for empowering me. And I said, what do you mean? He said, I didn't want to do Christmas. And it was hard for me to tell the boys, we're not doing Christmas, we're not doing gifts. And because you were so effortlessly just, kind of nonchalant about it in your own self, like, Melanie just doesn't do Christmas, she doesn't do gifts, it's all good. He said it empowered me to feel the same. He said it made me feel okay because I felt really bad. I felt really guilty. But seeing you made me feel okay about it. And I said, really? So I said, you didn't give gifts to the boys? He said, no. He said, but because I know that you were doing it and you feel you're so steady in that, it made me confident in it this year. And I said, wow. Okay. So I'm just giving you an example of this. My brother is not on a spiritual path. He's not on the spiritual journey, but because this is who I am. I don't celebrate. It's not something that I do. And there's no negative energy towards it. There's no positive energy towards it. It just is what it is. It allowed him to be confident in his choice to decide not to do it. Now, I don't pressure my brother. I don't say, hey, you need to look at the stars and it's a full moon and, burn some sage in your house. I don't do any of that. I just am who I am when I'm around him. And because I am who I am when I'm around him, he's starting to transform in a way. Do you guys understand? So I tell you that story to give you an example of when you are truly mentally empowered. When you are truly, I know myself, I know who I am. There's no extra effort you're putting into it. You just are that. You then allow people that you don't even realize, you allow them to also be empowered in who they are. You allow them to be confident in who they are. Okay? Now, was this easy? No. When I pulled my daughters out of public school 2016. I remember telling the principal, like, my daughters will never go to school again. And I was like, I'm moving to South America. I'm doing this and that. Everybody thought I was crazy. Nobody believed me. But I was like, that's what I'm doing. And that's what I did. I was fully in my place of empowerment. Okay? And because I did that, I opened up the door for other people in my life to say, hey, maybe I can do that too. Now, if I was shaky and steady, like, well, maybe I don't know if I should, or I know I'm getting promptings from my spirit team, but maybe I shouldn't. I'm not really sure. Maybe I should ask someone, or maybe I should get a reading done, right? Now I'm steady. I'm unsteady. And now the people that are around me are confused, and it causes them to also be unsteady. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So the first thing is mental. You will be tested on your mental state. Okay. Another thing that I told my class this last week, the week before. I was told to have an altar. When I tell you that my mother is like the missionary of the church, she's a missionary. She's a bunch of different things in the church. And my parents are just like religious people. And me have an ancestor altar, the first time I was told to do this, I was just like, I'm going to do it. There was nothing that was going to tell me not to, but there was this thing like, oh my gosh, what are they going to say? Like, are they going to call me, like, I don't know what I thought they would call me, what they would say. But I put the altar up, and my mother was like, what is this? And I said, it's an altar. And she said, and she walked out the room. And I wasn't mad at her. I was happy, proud of myself, because I was nervous, but I stood my ground. Okay? I was like, I know who I am. I know I'm supposed to do this. I stood my ground. Okay? How many of you can say the same thing? How many of you are really in that place right now? These are things that I want you to ask yourself. Okay? How many of you, when your friends come over, you hide stuff? It's like the person, I remember back when I used to go to this church, it's not like this in the churches in New York, New Jersey, but in the South, it was like this, where people would say, what's the phrase? God is good all the time, or just little phrases like that. And I would say all these little religious phrases people say all the time, but like, I was about to say something I should have. Let me not say that. The same people that were saying all these phrases, like, I knew some of the stuff they were doing and some of the stuff they were doing it with. It's like you're two people, okay? And I'm saying that to some of you. Some of you are talking all this spiritual stuff in the chat. Some of you are talking all this spiritual stuff, amongst spiritual people, right? On your Instagram page. When you get around your family and friends, it's a different story. You have to have the mental strength. You cannot be afraid or scared of what someone's going to say. Why do you care? You talk about this DNA activation. That takes mental power for you to show your gifts publicly. That takes mental power, mental strength, okay? You're going to be tested. A lot of you were tested this week. A lot of you failed. It's all good. More tests will come. Next time you'll pass them, all right? Peace, Prime Harmonic. When he says, I just want to invite them over if they can't accept that side of me, but I don't understand what's the problem if you want to keep that side of you private. How do you keep who you are private? You're living in the closet, right? We have been conditioned to keep certain things private. Here's the thing, soul family members, you have a mission for the collective. There's no privacy in that. Your work is not for you. Your work is not just for you. If it is, I don't know, maybe you're part of some soul group that is you're individualistic, okay? But we are here as individuals to do work collectively, okay? So if Melanie was to be spirit doula by herself in my room private, I would not be able to help and guide the people that I am. Do you understand? There's work that has to be done, that has to be shared at this time. So I understand in the beginning when you're struggling with the privacy, and I'm not saying go public and be like, hey, I'm such and such, look at me. I'm not saying that either. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. I don't even have to really explain this. You know what it is when you're hiding aspects of yourself, period. You know that. You do this all the time. I used to work at universities, okay? And I would go onto the campus. I would never have gotten a job with my hair like this. Never. I would go onto the university campuses with my wigs, with my straightened wigs, okay? With certain makeup, dressed in clothes I would never wear. Pantsuits? Are you freaking kidding me? And heels? Like, never. I'm straight sneakers, t-shirts, and jeans. That's what I like to wear. Okay, I like my hair natural. I would have my hair natural underneath. Now, when I got home from work, I would take the wig off and I would have my twist. And when I would be around the people, they would see my natural hair. But when I went on campus, I was someone else. You know when you're hiding, and you know why you're hiding. And I'm not saying that for those of you who have jobs to, suddenly go there and be, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you know the difference. You know the difference. If you're a spiritual human, you're just a spiritual human at all times. When you're truly in that place, it's not sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. Okay. If someone comes around me and they say, I'm a healer at all times, so nobody can be around me sick, I'm going to say something. Okay. Let's continue. And again, I'm not saying that I'm not trying to, again, I preface this by saying I'm not judging. You guys know that those who know me by now know, like, I'm not a judgmental person at all. Like, I'm like the least person. I know some stuff I did in my past lives, like, so I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to help guide you. And like I said in the beginning, there is a judgment that's happening, whether you like it or not. Like, oh, like you, I don't know what people thinking, but this is what's happening at this time. We just think that we're in this construct, like this, I guess, the Christian construct. Like, remember that song, Donnie McClurkin, "We fall down, but we get up"? And I remember that song used to bother me. And I remember I had an argument with someone in the church. I had an argument in the church. And I said, it almost is like it gives people permission to keep effing up. It's just like the Catholic Church. You sin, you go to the booth, and you do your confession. You can kill someone to your confession. You can sin 10, 50 million times, and it's okay. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. At what point are you going to hold yourself accountable? And so the energy right now is accountability time, whether you like it or not. And it just is what it is. Okay? And I'm going to deliver this message in truth and in love. Okay. Number 2. So let me tell you about number 2. I wrote notes, and I kind of struggled with this because I did. And so remember I showed you in the beginning, like right before I got on live, one of my pages burnt, caught on fire. This was number 2. And obviously Spirit is like, you're not going to go off a note. You're going to, we're going to go off the cuff here. So in this moment, I'm asking my spirit team to help guide me through this number 2 so that I'm saying the words that are needed to be heard by those who have ears to listen. Number 2, Stardust. I was like, oh my gosh, it's on fire. Number 2 is emotional test. That's the page that I actually needed to go, to read notes from. But clearly I have to, some channeled information. Emotional. And as I'm going now I'm realizing why these things were in a certain order. Emotional. People will say things about you, and it will hurt your feelings. Because it's meant to. Why did I want to hide the altar from my mother? Because I didn't want her to think like I was doing some witchcraft stuff. Because I grew up hearing that my great-grandmother was a witch. She was a healer. Why did I not want to share certain aspects? Because maybe people think I'm the devil worshiping. When I had to get a logo for the Spirit Doula, I was told in a meditation, your daughter's going to give you the logo. True story. So I told my daughter, I said, you have to give me a logo for the Spirit Doula. She was like, what? I said, do your thing, go to sleep. You'll get a vision. Draw it. And so she's like, mommy, like that's not gonna, happen. So she went to sleep. She showed me a piece of paper. And it was an inverted triangle with an eye in the middle. I was like, oh shit. For real? Like it couldn't be something like wings or something, something light. This was last year, last July. Could it be like something with a heart? You had to give me a inverted, upside down triangle with a big eye in the middle. Like everybody's gonna be like, Melanie's on some Illuminati stuff. I was like, everyone's gonna think I'm a devil worshiper. Like, what in the world? Forget the fact that I was given the name the Spirit Doula, and now I have this logo. Okay, and I gotta put 369 in it. Like, what the heck? Okay. So I was concerned with that. I was concerned with being called these names and being judged a certain way and how people would look at me, getting my feelings hurt. Okay. And nothing much really happens until recently. Okay. So, yes, inverted triangle is actually the alchemist symbol for water. Also feminine, right? It's also the teacher. So I didn't know that at the time. What it was is also throat chakra, which is why my throat started acting up as I'm talking about it. So, and then the eye, we know what the eye is. So I didn't know what that meant at the time that I got it, but it was purposeful. Everything is always purposeful when it comes from spirit. So I'm on this path. I'm fully who I am, and I'm doing this work. I'm on YouTube, and I'm teaching, and I'm speaking truth that I'm receiving from, spirit, things that I'm getting from books, and I'm the science aspect of it, and I'm teaching, helping people, sending love, always trying to vibrate in that heart space. Okay. And something happened to someone close to me. And there was accusation that I did something on the dark side, did some like witchcraft stuff, some bad stuff. Okay. Mind you, I make it very clear that I never touch rituals, to cut cords, to do anything against anybody, because when I tell you my spirit team is diesel, like I don't have to ever worry about that. My spirit team is like, we got your back, don't worry. Somebody said what? We got your back. I'm firm in that. So I never have to. I don't. If anyone does anything against me, that's on you. You got to deal with them. I got some thugs behind me. Okay, real gangsters. Okay, spiritual OGs. All right. So for someone close to me to think that I would do something like that and then it kind of pass around, that hurt me. Because it's like, you know me. I would never, first of all, I don't even know things like that to do. I wouldn't even know how to go about that. And not only that, I would never do something like that because I understand my energy. If I put that out, it has to come back to me. Okay? So my feelings was hurt. I went through this emotional space of feeling judged and being confused and heart being broken. This is different than relationship heartbroken. Yeah, been there, done that. Okay, with relationships. This is different when it's someone that's close to you. Okay, this is different. And I had someone tell me last week that she had a friend of hers. They were on a spiritual path together, ride or die, real heavy. And she started being more serious about her work. And then the friend was like side-eyeing her and saying certain things. And like, it was shocking. It was hurtful. She went through this emotional place. Okay. Broken heart. Like, how can you think that about me? How can you do that? Okay. Relationships. You may be in a relationship that you thought was solid. And then the past couple of months, all of a sudden the person is acting up. You're not doing nothing wrong. That's the thing. I'm talking to the ones that there's some people trying to do some shady, dark, manipulative, revengeful stuff. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about you're honestly trying to meditate. I just want to get up at 3:00 and meditate. Why do you think I'm a daggone devil for that? I just want to share love. I just want to heal people. I just want to help people. So why am I being mistreated? Okay? These are the emotional tests you will go through. I think about 10 people have told me that their relationships have dissolved in the past few months. People who are married or people that were dating. Because they're ascending, they're doing their spiritual work, and their partner is thinking the worst of them. Like, how? How? And they're confused and they're hurt. And it's very emotional. And then you start to, maybe I shouldn't do that. You start to doubt yourself. Okay? You will go through this emotional place. Okay? When this happens, you have to take a pause. Because when we're dealing with the heart chakra, that is the gateway to ascension. I don't believe it's the crown. It just can't be. It's the heart. Okay? It is the most difficult. It is the most difficult. And so when these emotions come up, the first thing you have to do is you have to ask yourself, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? Is there something that I need to know or to heal or to check or to correct? As spiritual humans, whenever something happens that shakes you, understand that it's not shaking you to destroy you. It's shaking you to bring something up out of you that needs to be looked at. Do you understand? So when these things come to surface, you have to take a moment and say, why? You have to take a moment and say, am I doing something that's causing this? Is this some past life, something that has to be healed? Or maybe it's their shit. Because a lot of times it's other people's stuff. Okay? And sometimes people will just hurt you because they just don't like the fact that you're ascending. Deep down, there may be some jealousy deep down. And so they'll attack you. Okay? So when this happened to me, my first thing was like, what did I do? Like, did I do something? Did I say something? Like, what the hell could I have done? And it broke me down. I remember crying. I even had a dream about it where I was crying in a dream, like I didn't do anything wrong. Okay? You're going to go through emotional tests. A lot of it, guys. A lot. Oh my gosh, a lot. My daughters, now I notice the spirit telling me to say this because I will not. My daughter, was it yesterday? She checked me. She's 4 times Libra. And so she was like, Mommy, sometimes like you don't listen, and she's like sometimes you just cut me off. And I'm very clear on that. And I tell my girls, like, Mommy has Aries moon. Sometimes I just don't want to hear the nonsense. Just cut to the chase, like they know that I'm like that. And she said, well, sometimes, she said, we know that you, when you say stuff, you say things out of truth. And I do. If I speak something, I'm going to speak out of truth. I don't really have a filter. I no longer have a filter. My throat chakra is open, no filter there. But she says sometimes it's too direct and it may cut someone, it may hurt their feelings. And I was like, Makeda, I would never say anything to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't understand why you would say that. And so she said it because I said something to her boyfriend, who I adore. I think he's a good guy, but it hurt his feelings. And so it hurt me that I was hurt that he thought that I didn't like him or that he thought anything negative, that I thought anything negative about him. That really hurt my feelings, okay? And so I had to take a moment and say, okay, Melanie, could you correct that? Is that truth? Now, I know my daughter's not going to lie to me, But she was bringing something up that I needed to change. And I said, you know what? You're right. Maybe I need to take a moment before I speak or pillow my words some, okay? But it is challenging for me because when I'm in that fire energy and when I'm in that mode and I'm feeling that passion, I just said whatever comes out. But again, it wasn't anything mean. It was more like, you're 19, get your shit together. You shouldn't be playing video games. You need to be that sort of thing. You're a black man. For me, I'm thinking I'm encouraging, but the way that I said it, as my daughter said, it hurt his feelings. Okay. So I had to take a moment, not be hurt about that, and then say, okay, that's the truth. My daughter was observing an action that I did that was not good, and I had to eat it. Okay. There are some things that are going to be presented to us that's going to give us an emotional reaction we may not like, but these are certain tests. Now, I could have been like, oh, forget him. He needs to be a man. He needs to grow up. You're being too sensitive. I could have did all that, but I didn't. I listened to what she said. I had a moment in my feelings, and I said, not maybe, there is some truth to this. Thank you for presenting that to me. Let me fix that, because obviously, even though I know I'm saying it out of love, obviously he's not receiving it out of love, and I have to check that. Okay, I have to be more mindful of who I'm saying stuff to. Okay, and when I'm saying it to them. Okay, so these are the emotional tests. This is an example of an emotional test that will come up. All right. Okay. Infinite wisdom. You understand what she's saying. I have the same issues at time when I speak. Yes, straight to the point truths can be harsh for some. Yeah, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. That's, I'm very direct. I'm very honest. If like my daughters, they know, like if they're like, mommy, does this outfit look cute? I'll be like, no, that looks terrible. Change it. And maybe I should say it nicely. I just don't think to say it nicely. I just think whatever comes directly out. Okay. And so this is something that she's like, mommy, check that. And so I said, okay, let me look at that. Okay. So that's number 2, emotional. Pisces are sensitive. I dated a Pisces. One of my soulmates was a Pisces, and I had to date him. I had to date him and to learn some things about me and to learn how to deal. Sorry, guys. To learn how to deal with that energy. Okay, let's continue. Number three. Psychological. The psychological. This is different from mental. The psychological, you will be put in situations where your very psychology is tested. What do I mean by that? Am I really crazy or not? Okay. Especially now, a lot of you are feeling, hearing, seeing things are happening to you. And your psychological self, you're like, maybe I'm bipolar. Some of you are thinking you're bipolar. Okay. You will be tested in that. You have to know that I'm not crazy. I'm a spiritual human. And this is the shit that happens to spiritual humans. Let me tell y'all something. I've had so much stuff happen to me in the spiritual realm that it's either I'm like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs, right? Or cuckoo. Or I'm just a spiritual human. It's either or, because it's just that much stuff. I know that I'm not crazy. I know that this stuff is real. How do I know? Because I meet people that say they have experienced the same thing. This is why it's important for soul family to share and be honest. This is why it's important for teachers, for those of you who are being led to speak out, speak the truth. Really talk about your experiences. This is why I tell you guys, those teachers who are like, spirituality, namaste, everything is peaceful, everything is good, walking your path, everything is perfect, everything is awesome. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. They're lying to you. This is hard. This is hellish. Like, stuff happens. Like, the worst things happen to you. Like, and it seems like all the time sometimes. And you have to be like, yo, am I crazy? Am I really like Looney Tunes? Like, this keeps happening? Okay? You will be tested. You will be tested. I'm telling you that. It's one of the biggest tests. No, yes, you heard your name being called. And no, nobody in your house was calling your name. You're not crazy. Okay? Yes, every time you walk into a room, the lights blink. It's not just you. You're not crazy. This is something that's actually happening. Okay? Don't think it's all in your head. It's not all in your head. But here's the other thing. Once you have established, once you know there are people, right? There are people in this chat that can attest to the stuff that's happened to them. Once you know that, okay, it happens to other people too, I'm not crazy, then something else happens. This is the other challenging part of the psychological aspect. Your human self is going to want to share everything. Your human self is going to want to be like, and you know what? And I was walking, and a red bird flew on my head, and then I looked down, and there was a rose quartz on the ground, and then, oh my gosh, and are you feeling this too? And you just get so excited. You just want to talk and share and connect, and that's fine. That's good. Okay? Of course, in the beginning, we need to do this because we need to understand that we're really not crazy. Okay? But here's what happens. Here's a test. This is what Spirit will do. Spirit will say, okay, she's been meditating, she's been connecting, and he's been getting upgrades, downloads, all kind of loads. Wonderful. And he's meeting new people, sharing the information. Pause. What about us? Okay? And just as much as all this is happening, something will happen that will make you feel like you're by yourself. You will feel lonely. Okay? This is what happens. The human self wants to share, but there will be a time when no one will be there. This is part of your training. This is part of your spiritual training. And what's happening is that your spirit team is saying, you need to talk to us. Don't forget about us, because you're talking to everyone else. You're running ideas past everyone else. You're asking them, what is their opinion? What do they think? This happened to you, so what should I do? And you're negating your spirit team. Your spirit team will shut all of that down. That's what happened to me. All that was shut down. And they were like, talk to us. Now you have nobody to talk to. Talk to us. Okay? Your spirit team is where true love resides. True love. Nobody loves you like your spirit team. Nobody. They chose to be with you. This is your true team, your true besties. They have your back no matter what. Somebody can walk away. They will never walk away. Your spirit team, your spirit guides, your ancestors that are with you, always have your back. Always. You can't negate them. That's messed up. So they will shut everything down and say, hey, Hey, what about us? You need to talk to her. Oh, she wants to call a friend and tell her what happened. All right. We made that happen, but we just chopped suey. All right. You saw that film? Yeah. We just made that happen for her, but she's telling her best friend how that check just came in the mail. They didn't say nothing to us. Not talking to us about it. Yeah, I see that, Phil. How about we shut all that down? No friend. Now who you gonna call? Your spirit team will make this happen because you have to understand one thing: how to be alone and not feel lonely. And so at this point, you have no choice but to, like, who else you gonna talk to? You just in your bed chilling, just you. It's like when you first awakened to truth, you had nobody to talk to, right? And that was at your most powerful space, where all you can do, for many people, all you can do was get on your knees and pray to God and say, what's happened to my life, right? We're at the lowest point. That will happen again, okay? You have to remember that your higher self comes first. Your spirit team first, before everything else, because that's where the blueprint lies. That's where the true guidance is. Nobody else has, there's a blueprint. Nobody else has that. You don't even know what that is. You have to be so connected to your spirit team. And it will shut everything down if you are neglecting them. Okay? 2 weeks ago, it's 2 weeks ago? No, 3 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, so many miraculous things were happening in my life. Like, amazing. And I didn't have anybody to call, to tell. And I was like, I know what y'all doing. And I literally said, I texted my friend and I said, I need a few days. I may not speak to you for a few days, but I'm really being told to connect to my spirit team. I'm really being told to fellowship with them. So don't be in your feelings. Don't get mad if I don't call you or text you. This is just what it is. So some wonderful things were happening, and there was this thing that I wanted to call someone or text someone, and I was like, nope. So I went upstairs to my altar, and I was just like, guess what, guys? So, and I'm literally having a conversation. I'm connected to my spirit team, so I hear them responding back. I'm not crazy. I've passed that psychological test, okay? Because when I follow what I'm receiving, things happen good for me because I follow some promptings, because I was told, Melanie, do this, say this, and I followed through with that. These wonderful things were happening for me, okay? And so I'm coming back and saying, thank you. I can't believe you guys were right, okay? My daughter came into, she saw my altar one day, and there was like one night, and it was a piece of pizza on it. And she was like, Mommy, what the heck? Why is there pizza on a plate on your altar? And I was like, I was craving pizza. I'm from New York, guys. We used to eat pizza like almost every other day. And I'm vegan and I can't eat that. I don't say I'm vegan. I don't eat cheese anymore. And I was craving pizza. So I went and paid $8.99 for a vegan, Amy's vegan pizza. And so I was so excited about this pizza, and I had it in the oven. It was nice and crispy, and I was cutting it up, and I was just so excited. And I was like, let me share this with my spirit team. Let me share this enjoyment of this pizza. So I sat down, cut up some slices, put a slice on my altar, and I was like, I know y'all don't know what this is. You know, one of my grandmothers, she's from the Caribbean. I don't even think she's ever heard of pizza in her life. My other grandmother, she's old school from the South. She was a nutritionist. She would never eat pizza. So I'm like, I know you guys know what this is, but this right here is delicious. And I want you to share some of it with me. No joke. I'm sitting there at my altar and I'm like, so let me tell you what happened today. And this happened and that happened. I don't know what I should do about this. What do you guys think? And I'm sitting here having a conversation. I'm fully engaged with my spirit team. Okay. And there's not 1 ounce of me that thinks I'm crazy, because I had to pass the psychological tests. And this is one of them that your spirit team will do. There's There's something that you have to master. You have to master being alone and not lonely. Okay. And when you truly are engaged and you truly connect to your spirit team, you realize like it's a lot of energy around me. There's so many of them. There's so many that I can connect to about every situation in my life. And so I'm never alone. Okay. Never, ever alone. I'll be in my bed and just chit-chatting with someone or just talking and feel okay with it. So for a full week, I wasn't texting, I wasn't calling anyone, and I was having the most conversations with my spirit team. And this is what was needed because there was a lot of information they had to give to me. And they said, we have to pull you back, Melanie. We need to be in this. We need to strengthen our relationship. Okay. So this is another part of the psychological aspect that you will be tested on, that you need to master. Okay. Being alone, being by yourself. Some of you are single for the first time, and you have to realize that don't feel lonely. Just because you're physically by yourself does not mean that you don't have a whole team behind you, a whole team surrounding you, a whole team with you, and they're just waiting to talk to you. Okay? Number four. Sky Beauty said, alone but not lonely is still my challenge. If that is your challenge, then if you're saying that's your challenge, your spirit team will say, okay, well, we'll help you with this, and they'll test you on that. Okay? And they'll shut everything down. They'll shut everyone down. Because as I always say to you guys, if you are in the middle of the wilderness, in the middle of the desert, and it's just you physically, what are you going to do? If you're not connected to your higher self, if you're not connected to your spirit team, you can mentally go crazy. But when you are, you're given direction. You'll know what to do. You'll know how to survive. You'll know how to get out of that. Okay. This is real truth. I've been in situations where it wasn't me. It wasn't my logic that got me out of it. Okay. It was me being guided by my spirit team. All right. Okay. Let's continue. Your right ear feels like you're in an airplane. Wow, that's an Ascension symptom. The fact that you feel like you're in an airplane. It's the pressure. So it's literally Ascension. All right, let's continue. Number 4, physical test. The physical test. The physical test is understanding your self-worth. Okay? We talked about this a few months ago. Understanding your self-worth. You will be tested physically. What do I mean by that? Yes and no. Knowing when to say yes and knowing when to say no. Okay? Your physical self, especially as you are ascending, as you're doing the work, is going to go through a lot. And the test is, are you going to bend to the physical human self, or are you going to ascend? Bend or ascend. Okay? So when you know that you have to meditate, or there's some spiritual work that you have to do, and your friend or your spouse or whatever wants to do something else, you need to say, no. I know who I am. I know what I came here to do. This has to come first. Okay? If you are doing some work with someone, let's say you started a business with someone. I actually was talking to someone, one of my students today, about this. She started a business with someone, and her spirit team was like, you're not supposed to stay in that business, but she felt obligated, right? Physically, she felt obligated. Her human self felt obligated. And she was saying yes to something that her spirit was saying no to. She was saying yes out of guilt, low vibrational. That's not self-worth. That's not high vibration. That's not being in your heart space. That's not being your truth. Okay? So there was a struggle there. Okay? You have to know when it's a yes and when it's a no. You really have to be in a place of your self-worth. Those who are in relationships, I talked about this past summer. Okay? You know that relationship is not good for you. and you're trying. Some of you are saying, well, maybe it's a twin flame. That's why it's so difficult. And you're forcing something that shouldn't be forced. You're dating someone and you're talking about, you're talking about, I saw this Bobby Hemmett video, watch it. And they're like, who's Bobby Hemmett? What is that about? You're always talking about spiritual stuff. That's not the person for you. That's a no. You need to know who you are. If you say you are a god, then you need a goddess. That energy has to match. Now, if you are married and you've been married to the person for a while, you know the difference. You know when someone is, I always tell people, you're vibrating high enough, they're going to get on board with you or they're going to fall off. And honestly, you don't really have to do much work. Your spirit team does it for you. Because they're either going to say, let me see what she's really talking about. Okay? Let me try this crystal thing. Let me read this book. Let me try this meditating thing. Okay? Or they're going to be like, you crazy, I'm out, we're done. It was over. Divorce papers. Okay? But you have to know your self-worth enough to say yes or no to that situation. All right? So put your physical self in a place where you're vibrating low. Because now you're susceptible to all sorts of low vibrational energies attacking you. Okay. The other physical tests that you will meet with are eating. Eating. We love us some food, right? I love food. I'm a food person. I love good food. There are certain times where you have to fast. Not certain times. Everyone should, fast periodically. I'm not saying you should fast every week or do 7-day fast. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying you should be fasting periodically. You can do fruit fasts. You should never fast dry fasting, okay? And you should never fast with just regular water. You should always have spring water and some sort of herb or some sort of tea with that. But there's some points where you have to stop the eating, okay, to let your body do what it has to do so that you can receive information. Certain foods we put in our body, literally, Spirit says literally blocks us from receiving certain information. That's a fact, okay? Now, if you are at a place where you've been doing this work and you were just magical and you were just in your superpowers, then you can manipulate the food that goes into your mouth. That's possible. 99.9% of the people on this live are not there, okay? So don't tell me, well, such and such said that doesn't matter what you eat. It does, okay? Certain foods are going to block you from receiving information. We know that because when we're stressed out, we eat certain foods, right? When we feel overwhelmed, we eat certain foods, right? Thank you so much for the donation, Batai. I appreciate that. Okay? So, eating, okay? Drinking. What are we drinking? Are you drinking your herbs? Okay? Are you drinking sodas? It's not about health. It's not about losing weight. It's not about the vegan lifestyle. It's not about any of that. And I broke this down to you guys before. It's about vibrating high. Sodas is a low vibrational energy. Okay? Connecting to nature. How many of you are like, I know I need to go out in the sun. I just don't feel like it. Let's see what's on Netflix. Right? You're letting your body dictate what you should be doing spiritually. Is it spiritual work? The magnificence that's happening in the skies right now, the magnificence that's happening right now, and you rather not go see it. You rather not get the information. Yesterday we were driving, we were coming back home, and I happened to look up and I saw a star, and I automatically knew what it was. I said, serious. And I was like, wait a minute. It just came to me, serious. And so serious is a very protective, I won't get into that right now. But I said, wait, let me double check. And so I looked up and I realized I could see all the stars. It's like one part, like in Northern Virginia, where you can see everything. I don't think they spray much in that area. And I saw all these stars. And then I saw Orion's belt and I said, oh, that is Sirius. And I was just like looking out the window, out the car, like, this is just so, and I saw something move and I was just like, okay. Experience that. You're meant to experience that. Meditating. I know, and I relate to you guys when you say you're too tired to do it or you're busy to do it. I get it. I told you guys some nights I had to roll myself out of the bed to get up and meditate. But the information that I received was so vital. I was like, dag, Melanie, you would have really sacrificed this for this information? Okay. Some of you like, I'll meditate while I'm driving. No, you don't do that. You're letting your physical body, your life, whatever's happening on this 3D realm, dictate your connection to your spirit team, to your higher self. Mastering your physical body is important. Okay? You need to control this. This shouldn't dictate anything to you. It's ridden with garbage. It's ridden with fears. It's ridden with so much low vibrational stuff. You have to dictate what this body does. You are going to be tested physically, and you have to surpass that test. If not, you're going to keep getting the test over and over and over again. Okay? Breathing. So many of you cannot. How many of you, let's pause. I want everyone to breathe through their nose, and if you can get to 12, type 12 in the chat. How many seconds can you get to? Most of you can't get to 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, it's like, oh, my lungs are going to explode. We were taught this early in the year to breathe, to open up the lungs, okay? To get as much oxygen as we could in. Not realizing, like Spirit said this back in March. We didn't know then. I didn't know then that we'd be wearing masks as much as we are now. So many of our lung capacities are shortened, are shriveled up because we weren't breathing. Okay? Awesome. QMax says 15. Yes. I know Prime Harmonic, you're probably like at 50, 20. Awesome. And for those who are not, this is something to work up to, okay? These masks aren't going anywhere. You're just breathing in carbon dioxide, and you're making it more difficult for you to get the oxygen in, okay? So these are things that we are going to be, these are certain tests that we have to pass. This is part of knowing thyself, okay? Physically knowing thyself. Knowing that when something's going on, what it means. You need to be so in tune with your body, okay? When you are so in tune with your body, when you are the master of your body, then you know that I feel a tinge here. This is my liver. This is my kidney. There's something happening with my womb. There's something happening with my throat chakra, my heart. You know this because you're so in tune. And then you can do the work that you need to do. All right? Okay. Number 5. Okay, number 5. Hold on one second, guys. All right. Spiritual test. The last test is the spiritual test. Know thyself. Whew. Who's going to pass the spiritual test? The spiritual test. You will receive information that seems out of this world because it is. Because it is. Because it is. Okay? I was literally, it was a few days ago, I was back in Jersey. I was in the room in the attic. And as I was sitting down, I looked at the shape of the room. And I was like, the shape of the room is half of a hexagon. And as soon as I saw that, I started seeing like all these hexagons around me. And it was freaking me out. Like, what? And then I started receiving information. The strongest shape, 6 triangles, the strongest shapes in the universe. Nothing is stronger than a hexagonal shape. Okay, power. I was receiving all this information. And then I started seeing this other shape that many of you may have seen like on rugs and curtains, but it's a shape like, I'm going to draw it. You guys know I'm not a good drawer. Oh my gosh. This is so bad. But it was a shape like this. It wasn't like that. That's really terrible, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay. It was a design in the carpet. Okay. So this was a design, it was a pattern in the carpet. And then I noticed that on the curtain, there was a pattern like that too. And then I noticed on the comforter, like and it wasn't the same pattern. It's the attic, guys. It wasn't like matchy. It was just like little parts of it. Then I looked up at the ceiling fan, and the ceiling fan had that pattern. I was like, what is going on? And then I heard womb. And I was just like, whoa. Okay. And then I started getting so much information about the womb and the womb energy and the hexagon shape, all this. And I'm sitting on the edge of my bed like, what in the world is happening? Okay. Then I started getting information about people and the people that come into your lives and the information that they give you. All this information was coming to me, flooding me. Okay. Now, this is different from psychological because we're past the we're crazy or not stage. This is the spiritual aspect. When you are tapped into spirit enough where you're getting information that cannot be found. This is information that you can't Google. How do you know? How do you know this? This is being tapped into spirit. You're going to get these tests of information, and it's up to you to say, okay, this is what it is. I literally spoke to a student today, and she told me something, and she asked me a question. She said, because I can't find it. I Googled it and I can't find it anywhere. And I said, you got the information. It's for you to write the book. That's your responsibility. That's your job. Spirit gave you the information. You're not going to find it anywhere else. It couldn't have been given to someone else. It was given to you for you to share that information. And what she said, the information that she gave, was backed by science. But she had no idea it was backed by science. She's not a scientist. I told her, like, this is truth based on science. Okay? So you'll be giving information from the spiritual realm. You'll be giving information from the spiritual realm that you won't even listen, guys. It will make no sense to you. And then you'll get some more information and it'll be like, whoa, these are your tests. Are you going to believe it? Are you going to doubt it? What are you going to do with that information? Okay? This is happening to a lot of you right now, a lot. As I said last week, some of you are going to be told who you are. It's not something to doubt, or told what energy you resonate with. It's not something to doubt. You just flow with it. Okay? You will receive information that seems out of this world. It is. It's not from this realm. It's from other realms. And it's given to you purposefully for you to do the work that you came here to do. Okay? So those are the 5 components of knowing thyself. These are the 5 tests that you will go through, that you are going to go through to know thyself. There's so much more to this. I could have spent 2 hours, you guys know me, I could have spent 2 hours breaking each component down. But I just gave a little bit, just enough for you to do the work yourself. Really take these 5 things, and dive in deeper and see how these 5 areas, how you are interacting with these 5 areas of your life. Okay. And everyone has the 5, right? Latanya says, I'm here for it. Jay Chatfield. This is one of my students that I spoke to today, and I was like, listen, I told her earlier on, your gift is to talk. I don't know what you're doing in your job, but that's not what you should be doing. Your name is Chatfield. You have a gift to speak. You are a communicator. And it's now that she's realizing, like, yeah, this is what it is. This is what it is. This is knowing thyself. This is when you know thyself, when it just sits in truth of who you are. Like, that's in your name. Chatfield is in her name. Chat. So again, the 4 things to knowing thyself, the 4 tests, okay? Mental, physical, psychological, emotional, and spiritual. How do you know thyself? These are the 5 things that you have to master. When you master these 5 things, right, then you are truly in a place of knowing thyself. I just realized next year is a 5-year, okay? So us going into that 5-year energy, we have to be in this place of, even if you don't fully know yourself yet, you don't really know who you are yet, that's fine. You're on the path to getting there, okay? You will be met with these tests. I'm still tested. I'm never the one to say, oh, I've arrived, guys. When I arrive, I'm out of here, okay? So I'm doing this work with you. I'm telling you this because these are things that I also go through. Okay, these experiences that I've experienced. All right. Again, mental, physical, psychological, emotional, spiritual. So you can never say, well, Melanie, you said know thyself, but how? These 5 things, these 5 ways. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about this full moon a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about this full moon. I was sleeping, and out of sleep all day trying to get information on this. And one of the things that I received about the full moon is that it's so interesting in how we started the year, the energy, the year. So again, we know the year is not January through December. I'm talking about the energy because we exist in that energy of January through December. Okay. So it's interesting how we started the year off and how we are like ending it. And so we are ending it in this full moon in Cancer. I'm not going to go too deep into that. I've taught you guys enough the past few months on what does it mean when there's a full moon. And I've taught you guys about each individual zodiac and the energies of the zodiacs. And so how do we put that together, right? So we have this full moon in Cancer, which is a feminine energy, okay? And it is dealing with emotions, okay? The interesting thing is that it's also considered the cold full moon. So the beginning of the year, we started off with the feminine energy, really diving deep within, okay? And then we transitioned to the masculine energy, the outer works, how we were presented in society, the masteries of who we are externally, okay? A lot of our gifts were came about. A lot of us were exposed, good and bad, right? For who we are, right? That happened the second half of the year. But we're ending with this feminine, this moon that's extremely feminine, okay? And so this is here to bring this not like a last-ditch effort, but a lot of you are going to feel emotions. And we talked about this emotion, this heart chakra, which is so powerful, and it has to be healed. It has to be dealt with. And every time that we think I'm good on the heart chakra, you're not. You're not. I think when you fully master it, that's when you truly ascend. Okay? And so we're ending the year in this full moon in Cancer for us to really deal with those little nuances that are coming up. Now, they may be naturally coming up out of us. We may be feeling emotional or feeling certain urges or sensations or different things, or people may be G-checking you like my daughter did. Okay? Hurt my feelings a little bit, but I had to accept that what she was saying was truth. Okay? This is the opportunity at this time. Your asking needs to be, what is it that needs to be healed within my heart? What is it that needs to come to surface now before I enter this new energy of this new year? Okay? Before the chaos ensues. What needs to happen? Okay? This is what you need to be asking during this full moon that this comes up. And it's not going to be comfortable. It's a cold full moon, so it's like cold-hearted energy. It's not the warm, I think it was in May, June, we had the full moons in June in Cancer, and it was that mother energy. Come here, baby. It's okay. Come cry. Come lay on mama's shoulder. It's not that. It's some cold-hearted stuff. Some cold energy that's going to come to surface, okay, that we want to deal with. Some cold, hard facts about us, okay? And being your truth with it, okay? You have to do this work for you to ascend or not. Some people I guess you like continuing to be reincarnated here and living this crazy life. Fine. But for those of you who actually want to be your best, your highest self, want to ascend, really want to do the work, like, damn, how great can you really be? This is part of it. You're going to cry. Your feelings are going to be hurt. You're going to be emotional. Okay. This is a major test that's happening at this time. All right. As I was asking about information about the full moon, and Spirit wasn't giving me much about it. There are some, astrologers online that you can see what they have to say about it. I'm not going much into it. But as I was laying down, I saw something and I was just like, let me check what this is. So I want to express what I saw. I wonder if I can. Before I do that, let me go back. This is something else that I received. I talked about this when 222 likes. I talked about this when I talked about knowing thyself and being empowered in thyself. And I touched on it with one of my students. The other aspects of being empowered and knowing thyself is understanding that each one of you have such special individual gifts and talents that you have to contribute, okay, that are so unique. There aren't names to it. For example, I was talking to Prime Harmonic and I said, what you call yourself doesn't exist. You have to come up with a name to what it is that you do. I was talking to Danny, who's a moderator on here, and I was telling her what you do is not yoga, it's not comedic yoga, it's something that you do. It's something brand new, it's never been done before. Only you do it. No one can Google it, no one can research it. You do it. This is your contribution, it's uniquely you, okay? There are some of you who are musicians, and you are supposed to heal with your music. And there are many ways to heal. There are many types of people to heal. It has not been done before. You are the one to do it, which is why you need to know yourself. Okay. I have a student who received that she has to write children's books. And I said, duh, Can anyone find me a book on Amazon that's written for children about what's happening spiritually? Does it exist? I said, I don't think it exists, sis. You got to write that book. Because if I had young children and I don't know how to articulate to my young children, here's a book that mommy can read to you, daddy can read to you, that can help explain what this is. Okay? Understand that knowing who you are, again, and I want to emphasize this, is for you to share this information because it's needed. I spoke to someone else today who she told me that her husband has been buying a lot of herbs from Zoe Essentials, okay? And he's been making these tinctures and recipes. And I said, well, where's he getting it from? And she said, he's just making it up. And I said, nah, he's not just making it up. This is something that's in his DNA. He's remembering it. So automatically I saw the Appalachian Mountains, like in North Carolina, that border like Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, into South Carolina. And so I said, where's he from? And she said, Chicago. And I said, no. Where's his family from? And she said, Chicago. And I said, no. Somebody's not from Chicago. And she said, well, his somebody is from Tennessee. And I said, that's it. I said, he's indigenous. And he's getting somebody in his ancestry is giving him these recipes. These recipes that he has, you can't Google it. So she was going to share the recipes with me. And I said, no, he needs to publish a book because it doesn't exist. A lot of these herbal dictionaries and stuff are not herbs that work with you melanin. They're not, the measurements aren't correct, right? Right? Because we know that someone who is eumelanin and phenomelanin can take the same herb and it does two different things. And I was giving her an example. It's not an herb, but I said, a eumelanated person can smoke meth and a phenomelated person can smoke meth, and one will recover and the other one will die. It's two separate things because genetically there's a difference. So when you're reading these herbal books that were written by people that are not eumelanated, it doesn't really work for you. And that's why his spirit team was giving him recipes that is designed for his people. Do you understand? So I said he has to publish that book because it doesn't exist. There's only one other book that I know of. One other book. And the recipes are from indigenous people. They're indigenous Americans on herbal healing. That's the only book that I'm aware of that's legit. That's not based on other stuff. Same thing with somebody that talked to me about crystals. There's a lot of crystal books. There's only, with the exception of Ross Ben, that's it. There's no crystal book that says that malachite, azurite, copper enhances melanin. None. Because it's not written by people that are eumelanated, which means that one of you out there have to write this book. One of you have to put crystals together and say what it does energetically for you melanated beings. It doesn't exist. This is why you came back at this time to do this work. It is important. That's why it's so important for you to know who you are and to share that information. You cannot hide. You cannot hide. If my teachers hid, I would be committed somewhere by now. Some of my teachers are my closest friends. All my closest friends, they're older, and people would think they were crazy. Genius. But they had to be who they were to teach me what I needed to know. If they were hiding, then I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing to help you. Do you understand? This is why you have to know who you are and sit in that and don't care what nobody says. Shit, what anybody says. You don't like me, don't like me then. Go about your business. I'm here. I have a mission that I have to fulfill. You guys need to understand that you have a mission that you have to fulfill. This is why you have to know who you are. This is why you have to be empowered in that and sit in that. Okay? All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Yes, Cartlett, I need that book too. I said, listen, when he writes that book, I will put it on Zoe Essentials. I'll promote it. I will sell it for him. I'll do all that. It needs to get out there. So I'm like, let's get it going. Okay, let's continue. So let's talk about. I don't want to really dive into 2021 yet. I can't. I've been getting some information about it, but I got some information tonight, and clearly it was for me to share this part with you all. I did speak a little bit about it, that it is 5 energy, which is chaos energy, but it's good if your foundation was set. If in this 4-year you set your foundation, okay, then that chaos energy is good for you, okay, because you can pick and grab. You just know where you're flowing at any moment, okay? For those who are not settled, get settled. Hold on tight. It's going to be a ride. And so I saw something while I was like in and out of sleep. And I got up and I was like, let me look this up. You guys. So astrologically, this year was something that has not existed. So many different things happened that hadn't existed like in hundreds of years, in millennia, 2,000 years, more than 2,000 years. Yes, this year was very special astrologically. The next time we have another year like this, I don't know. Who knows? The planets are not doing the things that they normally do. Let me say that. So when I saw this thing, I looked it up and I said, is this going to happen in January? And so I was looking at the planetary shifts of what was happening in January. And then I was like, it's going to happen in February. So then when I looked at the planetary shifts in February, I was like, what in the... So in 1962, some musician, there was a stellium in the sky in 1962, okay? A stellium means that there were, there's, I think, 4 more planets in one house, one zodiac sign, right? And they were all in Aquarius. And so he said, this is the beginning of the Aquarian age, 1962. Okay? The same thing is going to happen, but on another level, this February 11th. There are going to be 7. You hear me? 7 planets in one house. Which house? Aquarius. The amount of alignment, the planets move so differently. So for them to be aligned in Aquarius at the same time, not just that, the moon is going to be a new moon. So we're going to have the sun, I wrote it down, the sun, Jupiter and Saturn, they're still rocking hard with each other. Mercury, Venus, Pluto, all in Aquarius at the same time. And when I received that, then I heard, know thyself. And I said, know thyself. This is why we have to know. You have to know who you are. Aquarius is about knowing. It is the I know. I don't know what's going to go down February 11th, 2021. But let me tell you, energetically, I'm going to show you guys. I took a screenshot. I want to show you how this looks because it is crazy. It looks like all the planets are like coming through like a gang. Like we coming through this year. Like they are all jumbled up together, like on one part of the on the chart, astrological chart. I'm going to show you guys this. Again, I don't know why I was told this today. I do know. Let me not say I don't know, because this energy of know thyself is very important as we're going into this new energy. Okay. January, we get a little bit of reprieve for you to continue to do your work. But in February, you better have your shit together. Okay. I'm going to show you guys this. So let me show you guys this first. Can you guys see this? Do you guys see this? Now, these are nodes. So let's not look at this. Do you guys, these are nodes. Sorry, these two. Okay. Do you see this? This is Aquarius. You see how they're all coming through? It's like they're going through the year like boom, boom, like next. When I told you it's a 5-year chaos, like it's gonna be crazy. And then I saw this, I was like, oh, how? Like what's gonna happen? So we have all this energy in Aquarius. The houses. So before that, we have Aries, right? So we have Aries and then Taurus. So Taurus is like the bull. So we have a bunch of planets in Taurus, right? Taurus comes through like what? Taurus is like the most thug this out zodiac, right? Taurus comes through bull. Is also feminine, divine feminine energy as well, right? Grounded earth. Taurus is earth. Okay, so the energy comes through real heavy, and then it's Aries, right? And Aries is like, I know I'm the best. I'm number one. What's up, right? Like I just am. This is who I am. I'm just number one. And then right behind that is Aquarius. Like not only am I grounded in this, not only I'm fire, I'm the shit. Like I know. So now we have that air energy pushing all of this through. Do you guys? Anyway, for you astrologers that are on here, have fun with that. That is something that I saw. Hopefully I'll be prompted to, give the energy of the year in a couple of weeks. I don't know, but all I know is that next year is going to be something else. Yes, 7 in a new moon. Okay, and in 1962, like so much stuff happened when those planets were in there. Like there was a Cuban Missile Crisis. Like there was a couple of presidents who were assassination attempts. There was a bunch of stuff that happened that year that was just like a lot. Like you can Google like what happened in 1962, and it's pages of crazy stuff that happened that year. So yeah. What app is that? It's not an app. Is it this app? It's not. I don't think that it's an app. I don't even know what it is. I'm sorry. I apologize. It may be AstroSeek. Try AstroSeek, and you can put in February. I think it's AstroSeek. You can put in February like 11, 2021. But how I didn't see it on AstroSeek. I saw like the actual planets in the sky. And then there's another website you can go to. Oh, what is it called? There's a website where you can actually see the planets and how they move. Okay. If I remember it, I'll put it below in the description. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you all. Apparently, according to the astrology community, the new president may transition. I don't know. Who knows? Like when you truly are in a place, when you truly that last part, that spiritual space that I said, know thyself. This third dimensional stuff seems like so ridiculous. Watch the movie. If you haven't seen the movie Jupiter Ascending, watch the movie Jupiter Ascending. What I like about it is that the main character is I don't want to give it away, but she like cleans toilets for a living. And then when she finds out who she is, right? And then she finds out that even though she's this great person, there's a whole universe of energies. And so you may be this amazing person on Earth, right? The person on Earth, right? Or the person in your galaxy, but there's like so many other galaxies. So you're just one of many. And so when you understand that, then you understand like presence is like it's like it's like nothings. Okay. And I remember seeing that in a couple years ago. I remember being shown being on a high dimension and being shown what this dimension looks like. And Spirit is like, you guys really get caught up in this nonsense? Like, please stop. It's not what you think it is. It really isn't what you think it is. So it's important that we are connected spiritually. February 12th is Chinese New Year. I don't know. I just know what I was shown. I didn't get any more information. I was told to share it with you all. So that's what I did. All right. Yes, it is a great movie. Watch that. Also watch The Matrix. If you watch The Matrix, make sure you watch 1 and 2. 3 is not written by the woman who wrote 1 and 2. But these things are movies that we should rewatch, because when you rewatch it, you watch it with different eyes, okay? All right, guys. Love you all. Love you all. Yes. What does this dimension look like? Huh. That's I don't what do you mean by that? Like, you think it looks like something like, I don't know what you mean by that. I was able to see things from almost like I was out of the earth and looking down onto it. So it's kind of hard to describe. Peace, everyone. Love you all. You've been staring at the moon the whole day? Yeah, I'm going to go out. If you have certain crystals, charge them in the moon's energy tonight. Certain geodes like this energy. Geodes love this energy, and it's very cold. So they actually like this energy. So definitely charge your crystals in the moon tonight. I did not watch Soul. I'm going to watch it with my daughters. How do you book a consultation, become a student? So you can go to thespiritdoula.com. I am doing consultations only for January because I was told, not readings. I'm not doing any readings. So the consultations are if you have questions, you need guidance on your path, you need to know, like, what am I here to do? But I'm not doing spiritual readings. I'm not trying to, connect to your spirit team, that thing. But I am doing consultations January only. The class, if you're interested in the academy, the next academy class, and it may be the only one next year. I don't know if I'll be doing a second one next year. It begins January the 28th, and you go to thespiritdoulaacademy.com and you can register there. You're welcome. All right, you all. We're almost at 2 hours. Have a wonderful night. Sweet dreams. Safe travels. Yes, I think it's worth it, Malachi. Thank you for that. And sorry, Tiara, you have a question. I've been doing my spiritual baths, and when I'm finished, I always have a slight headache on the right side of my head where my temple is. So, Tiara, what type of bath are you doing? What are you using in your bath? I would need like details with that. Your crystals have been outside since yesterday. Is that okay? Yeah, they like to be outdoors. It's perfectly fine as long as it's not raining. You don't want some crystals can't get wet, so you don't want them to get wet at all. Thank you, CMT Life, for posting the link. Learning is in your chart next year. Simply KD, you're going to learn a lot. We dive in. We dive in deep. We dive in deep. If you haven't been moved to bring them in, Cartlet, then yeah, leave them out. No problem. The Himalayan salt bath. Okay, so if you did the one that I instructed, you're gonna feel something. So what it does is it basically jumps you, like it makes you ascend. So you literally are like coming out of your body. So you're going to feel some sort of sensation, whether it's headaches or something in your body. When you're in that bath, that is an opportunity to speak to your spirit team and connect to them. Okay, if you haven't connected to them, you connect to them. If you have, then that's when you go in to get information. When I need to get like real quick, deep information, I'll do that bath and I get so many downloads. So that's why you're feeling the headaches. Okay. If it's bothersome for you, what you can do is you can get some peppermint, put that in the water with you as well, or you can drink some peppermint tea. If you have high blood pressure, you might want to reconsider that. What herbs do I buy to keep my feet from swelling? Okay, so lemongrass. So you want to buy lemongrass. It is a herb that is it moves the lymphatic system, so it moves the water through your body. So this is something, if especially when people have colds or they're sick, lemongrass is a perfect tea. Drink it, like symptoms will go on the next day. But that's something that you want to drink, lemongrass, to help with the swelling. Okay. That seems like real quick, hold up. How do I make tea with the sea moss? So there's a video that's on my Shop Zoe Essentials page that shows you exactly how to do it. There's also, if you go to Zoe Essentials on YouTube, there's also a video on how to do that as well. And I'm going to do a video about sea moss because there is so much wrong information on the internet, and there's so many sea moss gangsters that think they know what they don't know. And I'm going to dive into the science behind it. And yeah, I'll be doing a video on what it really is because there's a lot of nonsense going on out there. Awesome, Tiara. So you applied a peppermint to your scalp? Awesome. So you're on target. Can you keep your crystals in plastic bags? No, you can't, because they can't breathe. So take your crystals out of the plastic bags. You can put them in a muslin bag. I think we have some on the website, or you can get your own muslin bag, or but you don't want to keep them in plastic. Put them in a selenite bowl. Keep them on your windowsill, but definitely not take them out of the plastic. Okay, the plastic is just to protect them when they're being transported to you. Dollar Tree got peppermint tea. I don't know about Dollar Trees. Certain things I'm not going to buy from Dollar Tree. You guys know I love Dollar Tree, but certain things I'm just not going to get from the Dollar Tree. Like, I'm not going to get tea from the Dollar Tree. You guys can just get peppermint. Just get peppermint leaves. Just buy peppermint leaves. You don't have to buy. As a matter of fact, when you buy the tea bags, you're getting ripped off because they put like very little in a tea bag, and it's not even the dosage that you should take. You should be taking like 1 teaspoon. They put like a quarter teaspoon in the tea bags. So, and then they charge, even if it's $1, you would still make off better by buying your own tea leaves, because it's just a better idea. If you can buy your own fresh herbs, it's much better. Can I do a fruit fast for just a day or longer? Sure. They weren't fruit fasts, but there have been times where I just had fruit like for weeks because I just love certain fruit. Thank you, Cartlett. What herbs are good for high blood pressure? Soursop. Soursop is the herb for high blood pressure. Actually, I think I'm going to say it. Yeah. Soursop is the herb for high blood pressure. Soursop in the Caribbean has been known to cure cancer as well. I mentioned it on the last live, and I was like, I'm not going to say that, but F it. That's what it does. So you have high blood pressure, get some soursop. If you need something more immediate, You can email me and I can make a blend for you. But Soursop does it. It literally will reduce the blood pressure. Okay. My husband, Jason's, my husband and I birth charts don't match. Nothing is the same. Is that a good or no? They don't match anything. I don't know what you mean by they don't match anything. Something has to match. Something will have to match. But for that, I would definitely reach out to Hood Mystic. You can go to hoodmystic.com, and he does natal chart readings for couples, I believe. But just because my daughter's father and I, our charts were 100% compatible. I don't know how, but they had to be because we had to produce the girls, my daughters. But many times you have, especially twin souls, whose charts would be so, like they'll be like opposites on a cross, like on a fixed cross, opposites sort of thing, which is like, how is that a couple? But it's the perfect couple. So it all depends, Jasons. What does it mean to see colors after sun gazing? What do you mean? At the sun, or you mean you're seeing colors around you? What do you mean by that? Are GMO vegetables dangerous? Is organic a must? Well, they're not real, so they're not dangerous. They do feed your body. They are satiating. But what is your purpose of eating that vegetable, right? If you're trying to get information and that vegetable doesn't have a seed or can't provide you information, then it doesn't benefit you. So again, the food eating is not about, is it healthy or not? It is, what is it benefiting you to eat that? Okay. So like I said, 2 weeks ago, I had pizza. That did nothing for me. It did nothing for my vibration. It didn't raise my vibration. It lowered, if anything, it lowered my vibration, or it kept my vibration where it was. I was happy though, right? Because it was good, right? And when I was eating it, I knew what to say to the food so that it didn't damage my body. But again, when you're eating something, when you're ingesting something, you're always dealing with your energy. Remember that. You're always dealing with how is this affecting me? Even people, even what you're watching on the screen, you are digesting that. Is that raising your vibration or lowering your vibration? So before you eat something, you want to consider that. Now, they have organic limes in Trader Joe's that have no seeds. That's not organic. Lemons are not, I don't know how they say organic lemons. Lemons are hybrid fruit. So you have to, just use discernment when eating food. If you're eating fruit, good. Better than eating a burger. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Will Ty. That the sea moss that I sell is actually sea moss that I've been intaking for years. It's just from the same farm for years. I've been feeding it to me and my girls. Anything that I have on Zoe Essentials is anything that I would give to my daughters or to the people that I love. And that's why I share it with you all as well. Anything for diabetes? Yes. So for diabetes, cinnamon leaf. So cinnamon leaf is really good for diabetes. It has literally, the cinnamon leaf has been proven in scientific study to lower not insulin resistance. Yeah, am I saying it right? Insulin resistance. So it actually has been very helpful to people that have diabetes. When my ex-husband, he had diabetes very young, and so I would make certain elixirs for him, and I would put cinnamon leaf. Now, there's two types of cinnamons: there's cassia and Ceylon. So you have bark and leaf. Leaf is different than the bark. Okay, so cinnamon bark can be toxic. You don't want cinnamon bark. That can be toxic to you. You want cinnamon leaf. Okay. The cinnamon leaf, you can drink cinnamon leaf tea, and it helps to reduce the blood sugar. My father would make oatmeal, and I replaced his cinnamon and got him real good quality cinnamon leaf. And I would just have it for him so he could sprinkle it on his oatmeal because he suffers with diabetes. Okay. Just skipped. When is the last chance of raising a vibration? I don't know. You mean like, I don't know what you mean. I seek the last chance. Why are you asking that question? Why are you asking that question? You need to ask yourself, why are you even concerned? When is the last chance? That's like saying, when is the deadline for me to, do this assignment, right? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about time when it comes to that. Worry about what you're doing, that you're doing the best that you can do at this time for what you're supposed to be doing, that you're following your promptings. Don't worry about time. Okay. How do you treat IBS, irritable bowel syndrome? I have a family member that is suffering from it. There are many ways that you can treat that, many herbs that you can use to treat that. If they have IBS, so IBS is something new. It's something new, and it's actually something else. So my question is, what else do they have? Okay. IBS is a combination of people eating the wrong stuff that they're allergic to, mainly eating dairy when they're allergic to it. And so irritable bowel, your body can't digest it. And so because it can't digest it, it now puts pressure on the liver. The liver's like, what am I supposed to do with this? And now you actually have liver issues, okay? So what is the underlying, what else do they have? There's something else that's going on. Dreamer Gabby, I didn't see your first. I think you're asking I think you're talking to Christelle, asking Christelle about cleansing auras. Okay. I tell you guys, Christelle is like the student that, when school starts, you have a student that wants to be in the front of the class in the middle seat. That's Christelle. She's awesome. 12/21/20. 12/21/20. That's not. Are you saying, is that the last day to last day of raising your vibration? Did someone say that? You have to be very careful. People are saying, listen, what happened to all the people that were saying that all black people are going to get superpowers on this date? What happened to all the people that were saying that the world is going to be destroyed? Like, be careful what people are saying. I keep saying that there are deceptors out there. If someone is making you feel fear, lowering your vibration, if something isn't right, it's not. So all those people that were saying that, they just went on to the next topic. Please stop watching them. If someone is saying they received something from spirit and it doesn't come true, it doesn't manifest, they were lying, because spirit's never going to lie. Okay. So be mindful of that. Everybody's supposed to, all black people should be flying in the skies right now and doing the most, or like the world was supposed to end. So we want to be very careful. What's good for enlarged prostate for men? Okay, so enlarged prostate for men is like fibroid for women. And all that is, this is something that I'm really passionate about, not men's prostates. But I'm so passionate about it because I have two brothers, as I said, and I have a lot of male friends. And men suffer with issues and don't talk about it, and no one talks about it to men. And you seem like you're not manly, right? If you have a prostate issue, one of the first signs is that you're not able to get it up, like you could when you were younger. And it doesn't mean that you're old. Let me tell you, age has nothing to do with it. Age has nothing to do with it. My grandfather was 60 when my father was born, and he was like 66 when my two aunts were born. Okay. I know men who in the Caribbean who have children like in their 70s and who are in their 80s, like still getting it in. Okay. So this is something that men don't talk. Nobody talks about it. Okay. So enlarged prostate is like having a fibroid. It's just tension. It's literally, this is sacral chakra issues. It literally is sacral chakra issues. So there are herbs that you can take to help with that. I literally have a tea that I developed for this. Just so the woman's womb detoxes every month and it flushes out every month. The prostate doesn't do that. Okay. So you have to help it to flush out naturally. And there's certain herbs that you can take to do that. And once that happens, what happens to the man naturally is that his lower back becomes stronger, his core becomes stronger. He literally sits up like this, okay? And then he's able to perform, he's able to have that flow through that energy portal that he has, okay? So this is very important for men. The statistics, I know I'm sidetracking, but this is for someone to hear. The statistics of men in their 40s who cannot perform sexually, and they're told, oh, it's age. Not for no you melanated men. That's not a thing. That's only a thing in this country. That's not a thing in Africa, in the Caribbean. That's not a thing. That's only here, okay? Because there's fruit that they can take. There's a fruit called granadilla that literally cleanses the prostate. It's not in this country, though. So there are fruits, there are herbs that men take to maintain prostate health, to maintain that flow, because when there's no flow, it gets bound up. Now, that doesn't mean that there should be a lot of release. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about energy flow, because the more you release, you also bound up that energy, because you're releasing a lot. You know what I mean by that? You're releasing a lot. I don't know if there's children around. You're releasing a lot because of something going on with your sacral chakra. There's some sort of low vibrational energy. There's some sort of abuse. There's lack of creativity. There's something that you're holding on to that you need to heal. But we only ever talk about womb health, women's health, and fibroids. And we never talk about the men. The men have a womb too. It's the prostate. Okay. Just as powerful, not say just as important, but it's important as well. Okay. So, conch salad in the Caribbean. Yes, that's another one. Okay. So, yes, prime harmonic. He said it in the chat. Okay. Dr. Sabi's was still in his 20s, changed his diet, lost that diagnosis. Yeah, Dr. Sabi, I am friends with his grandson, and he was telling me a lot about his grandfather when he was young that we don't know about. We just think Dr. Sabi was always healthy. He was like 300 pounds, diabetes, high blood pressure, all that stuff. Like everything bad, losing his vision, okay? Prostitutes, gambling, just like the worst of the worst, okay? And he was able to heal. Yes, strong back is actually one of the herbs that I have in my tea, okay? So, and be careful, men, because some of these herbs, so there's some certain pills that will have natural herbs in it, but they have, again, these pills are not made for you melanated men, okay? They're not targeted for you. So because of that, the quantities may be too much, and it may cause the reverse. So it may cause damage to you. Okay, so be very careful. Like you should never take Viagra or Cialis. Like that's not made for you. That was tested on phenomelanated lab rats. Don't have any melanin. So don't take those things. I'm telling you, they're natural herbs that you can take. All right. Okay. I think that was what's good for eczema. Calendula or marigold tea, calendula. You can soak yourself in a bath with the flower. You can actually get the oil. Make sure it's pure calendula. It actually heals yeast. And so the eczema technically is like a yeast on your skin. It also cures yeast infection. So that would be a good herb for that. Okay. Do I advocate for semen retention? Oh, that's prime harmonic. Sorry. I advocate for it too. But I know you're asking prime harmonic. Okay. I think those are all the questions. The easiest thing to do to cleanse your aura, guys, I'm telling you, get certain crystals. This is one. This is a big one, though. This is black obsidian. Black obsidian, literally, it cleanses and it protects the aura. So I always carry pieces with me like in my car, my bag, everywhere I go. That's a really good crystal to get. You're welcome. Men should semen retention is for men. It's not, well, women don't have semen, but it's a masculine energy thing. It's not a feminine energy thing. Women, we have to release. I told you guys about kunyaza, Google kunyaza. That is something that we have to do as women. But men is the opposite. Okay, so women, we have internal organs we have to release, and men have external, they have to retain. Okay, and when you do that, it's just, you can just manifest and I don't want to get into sex manifestation. That's for another video that maybe I'll do. But the most powerful manifestation would be when the woman releases and the man is about to release and pulls it back. That's whatever you want to manifest, is getting done. Most powerful manifestation between two individuals vibrating similarly. 1111 and 555. So 1111, 1, whenever you see the number 1, it means beginnings, okay? And because you're seeing 4 ones is saying work, so it means the beginning of your work, okay? 555, 5 is change, okay? We add the 3 together, 555 equals 15, which is 6. And that means that there's major change that's happening within your family, okay? How often do you cleanse black obsidian? I don't cleanse it that much. I really don't. Because it is one of those crystals that kind of cleanses itself. So I may do smoke on it once in a blue moon, but it cleanses itself, Cartlet. Anything for adrenals, low cortisol, and ACT? I don't know. So ashwagandha is good for adrenals. Burdock fruit is another one that is good as well. Women who don't have periods. So you mean that you have amenorrhea, which means you want to have a period but you can't, or you're past menopause? What do you mean by that? What numerology books do you recommend? I recommend books by Lord Strayhorn. He has several numerology books. He's one of the masters that we have living at this time. Tap into him. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. I think those are all the questions. Again, love you all. Sweet dreams, safe travels, and I will see you soon. All right. Peace, everyone.